Hello. So I'm here today to talk to you about the Questia assignments in the English 101 online course at Gateway. First of all, there are two types of assignments, and students get a little confused about this. One of them is just asking them to do a review of information that's in Questia, asking them to look at tutorials and write basically a report saying what they watched and what they learned from it. But you also have another kind where they're asked to do that, but then also talk about their research process and talk about and actually give you some annotated bibliography entries and some notes that they're taking to show you where they are in their research process. So I'm here in Module 5, Lesson 1, which is the first one, and there's a new thing that I've just added to the course, which is called Exploring Questia. It's a video that is actually also in Module 6, but I pulled it back to Module 5 because right after this, they're being asked to do an exploration project, and some people are having trouble finding those tutorials without this video. So hopefully that'll be a little more helpful to you. When you go in here, there are actually two rubrics that you're using, and the rubric that's here may not be correct. We may have to swap that out. But if you look in the assignment itself, you're going to be able to see that there's basically a review rubric that has two elements on it and a project rubric which has some information or some elements for the annotated bibliography and the notes. So let me show you what the grading on those looks like. I'm here in Module 7, Lesson 1, and that Questia assignment is one that has the project rubric. I'm going to go in here. Actually, let me go first to the Grade Center for Module 5. In Module 5, this is strictly a review, so let's look at that first. You can change or check the rubric if you notice that it's wrong by clicking here and editing the column information. And you go in here and you can see which rubric is attached. This is the Questia review rubric, so that's correct. And this is what it looks like if you want to see it. It's the review paragraph and the review length. So I'll get out of there. And now if I want to grade some of these, I'll just show you kind of what I did. Attempt. This is for a course that's already ended and already been graded. This student wrote a very short sort of review, and it looks very much to me like he didn't actually go to Questia at all. He just talked vaguely about paraphrasing. So he didn't get full points on this. If you look at the rubric for grading, I basically gave it a merging for whether or not the content was any good, and also for the length wasn't that great. They really do need to write college length paragraphs, which should fill at least half or 3/4 of the page, in my opinion, to get the full thing. If I go to a different one, I'll cancel this one, go to the next one, the next student who has something. She wrote a lot more, and she seemed to talk a bit about how things I don't think she actually went to Questia either, but I gave her more because she wrote a lot more, and she wrote a lot more about plagiarism in general, so I gave her competent on these. If I go to another one, you can see this student wrote a lot more, and he actually talked about the videos that he watched, and he watched a bunch of them, so he got full credit on his. As you see here, distinguished and distinguished. My general feeling for all of these rubrics is that if they do at least the minimum required, they're going to get competent, which is about a B. If they go over and above, or they're particularly thoughtful and are showing you that they're really engaged, that's when I bump them up to distinguished. So that's how I do those. So this is what these rubrics look like. If I go over to Module 7 and look at this Questia assignment, again, I've got a student here. If I look at his attempt, this is one where he was supposed to give me some notes and talk to me about his research process. He talks a bit about the research process in here and what he's been doing, but if you look at the Questia project rubric, there's now 3 elements on it. Does he have any working bibliography entries? Are they MLA correct, more or less? Do they have any notes that they're showing you that they're taking actual notes and understanding about that? And have they done the review paragraph? I gave him some points for the review paragraph, but obviously nothing for these other two because he didn't do that piece. If I go to a different student here, this student talked about what he did in his sort of research, and then he showed me his notes and where he was getting them and how he was copying them out. He had some questions, and then he also has a works cited page sort of thing here that he found in there. So he got full credit on this. I guess if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you have any suggestions for how we can make this work better for the students, please let me know that too. Thanks very much for your attention.